Hi everyone and welcome back to the Fishing with Andrew live show. I have a great show for everyone tonight. My special guest is a bass and walleye angler. He is one of the co-hosts of the Fear Fishing Experiment. He was the team manager for Team Ontario for the Bass Nation and a great guy to know. So without any further introductions, I'd like to welcome Mark Hunter onto the show.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, Mark?
I'm getting a serious echo going here. That's better. Can you hear me?
Oh. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Sorry, man. I got to do this on my phone. My daughter's Mac wouldn't support the program or whatever that you're running, so it might be a little shaky.
Oh, that's all right. So first, we're gonna have you introduce yourself and how you got started.
Well, my name's Mark Hunter. I've been bass fishing for a long time, but seriously for about 12 years. Again, I joined a bass club through a guy that I met ice fishing, and that was the Hogtown Bassmers. I've been doing that ever since. I haven't missed a year yet. Um, I've had the pleasure of going to a lot of lakes that I'd never been to, or meeting so many beautiful people that are in my life now, and yeah, then I went on to the qualifier, did a couple qualifiers, came close a couple times, 2 years in a row. Then I gave it up for a little bit, and then I tried again in 2017. And that's in 2018. I was able to go down to South Carolina to fish for Team Ontario, which was really cool.
Oh, nice. Keep going.
Yeah. Okay, and I've done some major stuff, CSFL. It's not, whenever I get in a big tournament like that lately, it's just a terrible day of fishing for me. So I'm gonna step back a little bit, do a little more fun fishing with my buddies, which most of you know, Sean and Ian there, the your fishing crew. We do a webcast every Monday or every other Monday now. We were supposed to do one last night, but since fishing's open again, we've decided to go bi-weekly instead. So next Monday we'll have a brand new spear fishing experiment for everybody to tune into.
Oh, nice.
So I saw you had a picture of a nice muskie. I think I saw from, I don't know, times ago or something last year maybe.
2 years ago, yes, on Rice Lake, first and only one, out trolling for walleye and happened to catch that nice beauty.
That's nice. We went out to Rice on Thursday it was, and I got a little tiger muskie, which was really cool. Same story. We were walleye fishing, and that's really important. Like, I used to do the Canada U.S. walleye tournament until it was canceled this year for obvious reasons with the COVID mess. So we found that even on sturgeon that we would catch a muskie, we would see a muskie, and those walleye would be right there. So don't catch the muskie yet, but you
Yeah.
can certainly use that as a hint to where those walleye could very well be because that's what they're munching on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We just had Chris comment.
Oh
How's the
boy,
walleye fishing going so far, Mark?
the walleye fishing.
Yes.
I've been out twice. We went to Trenton opening weekend. Nobody got anything. I guess it was really bad. It was one of those stories. Should have been here the day before, right? Because they got hammered on the day before. But it was a timing thing. Last Sunday was when we could have went, so that's when we did. That was our first outing on this season, and then yeah, Thursday, like I said, we went to Rice. And it was pretty slow. We were expecting a smash fest there, but we got into the river. There was no current, and I'm no expert in vertical jigging, as a lot of people know. But apparently, you need current for that. So, and there wasn't any, so we went to the main
Yeah.
lake. We got a couple. So I was right. I actually won that little tournament. If it was a tournament, I don't know if you could call it a tournament, but I was the champ.
I call it a tournament.
They're just a bunch of buddies out fishing, right? So.
Yeah. Nice. So one of the things we were going to talk about was how did you get involved with the Fear Fishing crew?
Um, when I was doing the CSFL way back, I think it was CSFL or Baby Top Bass even. I'm not sure which series it was. I ran into Ian, and then I heard that he got his stuff stolen out of his boat, like in between tournaments. So a Saturday, Sunday, it was like a Saturday tournament, Sunday tournament, and Saturday, I believe it was, he got Saturday night. He got all his stuff stolen from his boat. It was all his rods, his gear, and stuff. So I messaged him, said if you need anything, let me know. He never did take me up on it. But then a couple weeks later, it was the fishing show, and I saw him there. We were talking about I was going to the Classic and stuff. So he asked if I would um, wear some hat. I asked him for some hats and some shirts to wear down there, and it was pretty cool because I was right down in the live well there, and I was waving a big Canadian flag, and that's when Charles Sim, which was our second Canadian ever to make the Bassmaster Classic, he went. That was the only reason I actually went. And so I was waving the flag during the weigh-in, and of course the cam came swooped down on me. So I was pretty pumped up. And then Ian had me on the show as a guest. That's when Marley and Scott were doing the show, and it went well. And I've been on every one since, I believe, unless I was down south or something.
Just a minute. Someone just comment. We're getting a lot of echo on your side.
Really, eh? I don't have earbuds.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about it, but.
And I got to do this on my phone.
Let's see if I can.
Is that better? Is that better?
I hope so. That sounds better.
Yeah?
Yep.
Hope so. Sorry, guys. I'm not too tacky.
Yeah, well,
I can hear an echo, too.
It's working good now.
Oh, yeah? I can hear an echo, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, then we get, the Fear Fishing guys. We've done so much cool stuff that we probably wouldn't have gone together. We've done 4 classics together. I've done 5 in a row now, which is amazing. Highly recommended. All kinds of hunting and stuff. I wouldn't have been hunting now. I just started hunting when I think it was 45. This is my 3rd or 4th year going into it. And I just love it. I went filming with Ian. We went on a bear hunt up north at Hardwoods and Swamps. And from there, it was just sitting out there. We saw a mama and her 3 cubs come in, and just watching them, I knew this is something I had to do. So I went for it. I took my hunting license the next week. I got snuck into a course and got a bow, started practicing, got the family into bows. We used to shoot with Ian and stuff. So it was pretty cool.
Nice. Now, we just had someone else comment. Jamie has a question. Hey guys, I'm planning a fishing this weekend on Buckhorn Way. I'm planning on grabbing a couple of things from the bait shop. Any recommendations on some bait to target walleye?
Sure. I use pretty well 2 types of baits: a hair jig or a ball jig. Hair jigs, I like black and yellow or straight black. They were good. That's for ripping hair. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but if you're not, check out on YouTube. It's really, really easy to do and highly effective. And when you get a hit, you know it. It's pretty good. The other bait I use is a ball jig. It depends on wind. Could be 1/4 ounce, 3/8, or even a 1/2 ounce. Or indoor current, I guess. And I'm just tipping that with either a gulp minnow. One of my favorites, probably a white Mr. Twister grub, and little swim baits. It doesn't matter who makes them.
Okay.
Angler's Choice got some really good options, and of course the Slammer. Can't go wrong with Slammer.
Yeah.
Or X-Zone, sorry, X-Zone and Angler's Choice. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Both of them do both.
They both make great baits, and I carry them both. So, yeah. But I think the original was probably the Slammer.
Okay. Then we had this one just popped up from Sean. Who's your favorite, Ian or Sean? Asking for a friend.
It's got to be Amber, hands down. You know what? Ian and Sean both have their good qualities, and they both have, well, Ian has some bad qualities. Sean has some, yeah. But you know what? Two of my best friends, so that's kind of a hard question to answer.
Yeah, especially when one of your friends writes that question and puts you on the
Yeah.
spot for it too.
Who do you like me?
Yeah.
I
Then
don't like you
Ian.
both, really.
Yeah. Then Ian comment. Hey Mark, longtime fan. Where is it? Have you tried any of the evergreen rods, and what do you think?
Evergreens are probably the coolest looking rod on the market. They're actually made by Daiwa. They're a different name, I guess. They got like a little nice little camo grip. Uh, I have two of them, three of them. I broke two last year from an accident from running down the lake, and my co-angler's reels were bouncing on the tips the whole way up rice. That was at the qualifier last year. You know, it happens. I should have paid a little more attention on how the boat was you know, set up with his rods and stuff before we took off. So I kind of blame myself for that one. But I got replacements, of course, and yeah, that's probably my favorite rod, and that's my
Okay.
worm rod too. So it's not all I throw, as most people might think, but it is definitely in my hand quite a bit.
Okay. Then I wrote out. So with the walleye open, do you have any good tips or techniques instead of vertical jigging? Since people are saying the water current is slow this year.
You know, I just go old school like I used to do with my well, not with my dad years ago, because we always use live bait there. We don't. I haven't used live bait in years. Ice fishing, that's about it. Um, just just find those weed edges. Find those dross with those weed edges. They're either going to be inside that weed edge in the thick stuff, or they're going to be on that scraggly stuff on the outside. Especially on cloudy days, they'll be on that straggly stuff because they're because of their vision. Bright sunny days, maybe tuck into the weed a little bit more, but on those cloudy days, windy days, when there's a little bit of chop, you can definitely get them on that. I'd rather fish that scattered weed and stuff for sure, 100%.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to be going out this Saturday for walleye. So.
Yeah, and that weed edge
Going
it could be any depth. It could be 6 to 8 feet. It could drop down to 10. It could be on rice. We were getting them 12, 14, and then when it got into that 12, 14, that's when the weeds
That's what I
started dying
noticed
off.
too.
Not dying off, but not as thick. You know, just sparse weed, and that's where I got them. So, and I've duplicated that on Shamong, on sturgeon, any of the tri-lakes. Find the weed edges. And if this time of year, if you're finding a weed edge close to where they spawn, whether it be Fenelon Falls, up that way, anywhere with they like current, right? Up the Otonabee, you know, anything outside of there, you should get them. You went outside the river and found weed lines and either ripped hair or fished the outside stuff. You'll get. I think you'll get them this weekend.
Okay. Kyle Crowder's this comment. How does
What a
it feel
beauty!
to be? How does it feel to be the best walleye stick in the Fear Fishing crew?
Do you know what? I am gonna own the crap out of that right now because I had one bad day, and Sean and Ian had a good day. I got backvoted all day. But yeah, I had a really tough day on opener last year on Trenton, and I paid for it for a year solid. Not just like once in a while, like pretty well every day. So we went out to Rice. Well, we went out to Trenton. Nobody caught anything. So nobody's got King of the Hill on that one. And then we went to rice, and Ian got one. I'm sorry, snagged one. So that didn't even count. My buddy Mike got a small one, and then I got two that were in the slot limit that I actually brought home. It's the first time in like 5 years, maybe more, that I brought a couple fish home to
Nice.
make some tacos with.
Awesome. Yeah. Sean, comment again. How many walleye did you catch last year?
Maybe 4. But you know what? I never went walleye fishing. No, maybe 5.
You did better than me.
Yeah. I did better than Sean, probably. Other than that one day, I did better than him. We had a little after tournament after Trenton opener, and we came to my lake, and we did some fishing. Sean was with Ian, and I was with my buddy Mike, and we caught more walleye that day.
Nice.
Yeah, but that was never mentioned. They didn't make the cut.
Yeah, I noticed he's cut a couple of things out, and I noticed in Ian's videos he does a lot of cutting.
Is that he does a lot of cutting?
Yeah, he does a lot of cutting in his videos. One part will be at one scene.
It's editing, and it's just to make it flow, bud. Yeah.
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 Oh, I do the same thing in my videos, so.
Yeah. It's the secret. It's something I can't do, so I have no right to say anything about that thing. I'm terrible. Look, I'm sitting here holding my phone because I couldn't figure out a computer how to get on here, right?
Oh, that's all right. You make the things. You make things work for you.
Oh, old school, I guess. You do with what you got. Yeah. If you don't have it, you make it.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your first trip out? I see you're in the CSFN fish off, are you there?
Yes. So I haven't made my trip out yet. I've only been out once this year. It was a creek down by my place and didn't get nothing. Didn't see any fish around. The only thing I seen in the water was a little turtle swimming around.
Oh yeah, I know the feeling, man.
So this weekend I'm going to be going into Hamilton and going to be trying Bayfront Park for walleye.
Nice. I've never fished the area before, so I have no idea even what it looks like. But I know they got some good fishing area.
Yeah. So that's the one thing I'm going to be doing. I missed walleye opening up on Rice Lake this year, so.
A lot of people did. It was a nasty weekend. That's why we went. We went like 6 days after opener, 5 days after opener, because of the weather. We like fishing, but we don't want to. It was our first time taking our boat of the season too, so we didn't want to take it out in rough weather in case we had any problems or anything like that. Now you're in real trouble, right? So it's better just to wait for a nice calm day. And as I'm getting older, I think I'm getting to be a fair weather fisherman more and more. I don't mind getting wet, but I hate being cold.
Yeah, that's like me, because I'm still used to going out in the boats still. I just got my boating license last year, so still learning how to drive them, but most of all, still learning to be careful on the water.
Yep, start with a small boat. You know, I don't think there's a guy out there that even fishing big tournaments and stuff that didn't start in a tinny or a canoe or a rowboat even. I started in one of those inflatable dinghies from Canadian Tire when I was a kid, just floating around fishing. Probably not the best idea letting a kid go out there with hooks with an inflatable, but we used to go way out.
Yeah.
Things were different back then.
Yeah.
And we survived. But that reminds me, like, not being cold. Like, I hate being cold, especially on that run first thing in the morning. And I'll tell you, if you watch the video of the walleye, we all have the same suit on. It's the new Under Armour.
I noticed that.
The bibs. I'm telling you, man, it is light out. The thing weighs like maybe 4 or 5 ounces total. The bibs and the cat and the coat. It's super light, and the wind cutting that thing does. I was blown away. It's got the inside cuffs too, so a lot of times when you're running and you got your hand on the wheel, the wind's going right up your sleeve, and it's making your whole body cold. But with that inside cuff, nothing gets through it.
Oh,
They thought of
nice.
pretty well everything with those suits, and love it. Highly suggested. I know a lot of people. I think Cooper's wearing the same suit. My buddy Mike's wearing the same suit. I've seen a lot of those.
Yeah,
People are gonna think we're a club out there or something.
I've been seeing those suits everywhere now.
Yeah, and
And
they're
it's meant.
for the price, I think they're around $600 or something like that for the suit, which is when you compare it to like the Bass Pro shoe or the Cabela's or whatever. It's a really reasonable price for that suit.
Hmm. My other question I had written down was, how did you get involved with Daiwa?
Well, it's pretty well through the fear fishing thing. We have to thank for that. Yeah, for sure, 100%. Kyle and so Ian, Kyle, and myself basically got onto the team the same time. Ian was a little bit before us, but when we were talking to rod companies, and um, it was important that we stayed together as a group. That was important. And it wouldn't look good if he's sponsored by Daiwa and I'm throwing another brand, right? So
Yeah.
it just made sense that we all jumped over to Daiwa. And I'm telling you, so I've done I've done a lot of stupid things in fishing, and I've done a lot of pretty cool things. And I think probably the coolest thing I've ever done in fishing, other than being with fear fishing, is hooking up with those Daiwa guys. Every single one of the team is just outstanding, approachable, personable guys. It's amazing, and I have friends now that I had met through Team Daiwa that'll be with me for probably a lifetime, unless they mess it up.
So I'm going to move into our next segment. Do you have any fishing stories you'd like to share?
Fishing stories. I got one. I got one. This is going back to a buddy. You've heard me mention my buddy Mike.
Hmm.
We've been friends since grade 6, and we had another buddy. From grade 6 too. That I still talk to all the time, and his name's Grant. And when I started getting back into fishing, I moved to Bowmanville here and stuff. Bought a place really right near the Bowmanville Creek, just because of the creek there. I wanted to do some river fishing, and so I went, for maybe 1 year, and then the next year he wanted to come. So I said, okay, let's go. So we went up to Canadian Tire, and he got his license. I had a rod for him and a reel and stuff, but he was dead set on buying this net. I said, Grant, we're river fishing. You don't need a net. It's okay. He says, no, I need a net. I need a net. I said, then that's not coming in my truck. Leave the net there. You don't need a net, right? Don't spend your money on something else. So we go fishing. He doesn't buy the net, and we're fishing maybe an hour or so. I got a couple, and then he sets into one. And he's going, oh, Mark, I got one. So we're river fishing. So there's current, a little bit of current and stuff. We're salmon fishing in the fall. So he's like, I got one. Well, sure as damn, didn't the guy catch a net? So we got his net. I swear, true story.
I
Yeah,
haven't caught a
that's
net before.
probably
I caught a boot before.
the crazy one. Of course, there's a lot I can't tell anybody. My mom might be watching. Um, yeah, no, I don't know. Just a lot of good times. The big fish ones are always the good ones, right? I got my
Hmm.
personal best on Rito, big Rito in the fall there in October, late season. That was a 6'8" largemouth, and then I got my
Nice.
Okeechobee in March when I was down there with Sean after we went to the Bassmaster Classic. Fished with Greg Roth, and I didn't weigh it, but now looking at the pictures and stuff, I probably should have. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
I'm wishing I did the same with my first largemouth. Is I should have weighed it.
Yeah. Well, I had my scale right there too. It was just, I don't know. I was hurting. I threw my back out in like January, and it hurt till March, like excruciating pain. Like I was even laying on the back deck that day, like the whole trip, classic, everything. I was in really, really bad back pain. So
Ooh.
if I wasn't, I it just hurt to hold it. I just so if I was, I probably would have waited if I was healthy. But no, I was in a lot of pain that trip for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ian comment, speaking of stories, has Mark ever flown a drone?
Yes, I have. So part of the fear fishing thing is Ian and I went to a crappie ice fishing at one of the dams or one of the locks on the Trent there, and that was a crazy morning because in the morning I get to his house, I get my stuff out, I shut my doors, well I lock my keys in my truck, so we can't get it, we can't get all the rest of my stuff, so we had to call CAA, and I swear to God the guy showed up with a coat hanger. But anyway, so he got me in. So we went there, and then yeah, we did some drone flying and stuff. He says, "Let me fly it." I got a helicopter, right? I do. I have like the little remote control helicopters and stuff. Let me fly it. Well, I flied it right to a tree. I did, right to the top of a cedar tree. I climbed it. Thing was like maybe as wide as the diameter of a baseball bat, and like 40 feet, but it held me.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Then, oh no, that wasn't it. Here it is. Has Fear Fishing ever thought of putting on a small charity bass fishing tournament? OBN night was a great success.
OBN night was a great success. We worked hard, especially Sean McCall. He put a lot of time and effort into that event. We all did, and it turned out to be a real beauty of a night, a real gem, and we raised a lot of money for the OBN that night. Have we talked about a tournament, a small charity tournament? No, we have not. There's a lot. There's a lot to do to run a big charity tournament like that, and I'm not sure. I certainly don't want to take the lead on it, but I've ran other fishing charity tournaments before. We did Sean and I did the Angler New Angler for Dave Mercer one year, which is a great tournament. It's made to introduce people into fishing, so there can only be one pro on the boat. The other one has to be someone that's never fished a tournament or never won in a tournament in order to fish with that pro. And when I say pro, I mean guy that has a boat, right? It doesn't matter who it is.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so it goes for casting for kids and autism, which is Dave Mercer's tournament. So it was a great event. I didn't do it. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do it last year, but hopefully this year, if it happens with the mess that we're in. Tournaments are kind of up in the air so far. Yeah.
Now, speaking of tournaments, I had one of the questions. How did you get involved with being the manager of Team Ontario for the Bass Nation?
Well, I was on the team in 2018, and it was an absolute blast. I loved it. It's a place I'd never seen before because of the OBN and Team Ontario. And I said, you know what, this is really, really cool. I'm going to tell the guys if they ever need help with the team or whatever, just to keep me in mind. Sylvia now does an excellent job. She's been the team manager and mom for I think 3 or 4 years now. But unfortunately, she's not able to go to Minnesota this year. So they asked if I would go, and I said I would love to. So my goal is to help those guys win as a team. And Mr. McCall will be my date. So he'll be helping with the team too, and he's got all kinds of experience with teamwork, with being on Team Canada, working as a team. Because I was kind of lacking with Team Ontario when I was there, I felt. We didn't really know each other. We didn't really have those talks. We didn't look at maps together. And I think that's something that was really missing. So that's something that I'm going to try to bring forward this year. And, it's going to make everybody have a better time fishing. Everybody's going to catch more fish because they're learning from everybody else. And there's a team championship too as well. And it used to be a bass boat, but I think it's money now that goes to we go to the OBN when we win it. Not if, when. Yeah. So, I've heard all kinds of stories of, and I've heard it from the president of the OBN too, that singly, the Americans and stuff and people from other nations, they are scared stiff of our anglers. But as a team, no, they're not scared of us at all. They don't feel that. They know. Right? So we're gonna change that. We're gonna flip that this year, and we're gonna win this as a team, or go swinging down one or the other.
Nice.
We're gonna swing for the fences for sure.
Yeah.
And if nobody wants to cooperate, I got Sean McCall. He'll make them cooperate. Just by the look. When you meet him, ask him to give you the look. You'll know it. It's a scary thing. Well, it looks like I might have lost you there, Andrew.
Quinn had.
If nobody wants to cooperate, I got Sean. Native to Ontario that I haven't caught yet, sturgeon. Hey, John.
Okay, there we go. We got Mark back.
Okay, sorry, Sean Quinn's. I would have to say sturgeon. Is probably one that I have never caught that I would love to, and yeah, that's probably it. Sturgeon, I would say, is my number one. What about you, Andrew?
So one of them I haven't caught yet is a steelhead.
Mm-hmm.
And I also want to try catch a pike.
You haven't caught a pike yet?
Haven't caught a pike. No, haven't caught a pike yet.
Oh wow!
So I caught bass, walleye, and muskie, but no pike.
I gotta get my. Can you grab me my charger? It is dying. Sorry guys, my phone's dying here. I gotta plug it in. I didn't. I thought I would be on the computer, so I don't have like quite a full charge on the phone. But we'll sort that out soon enough.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, I think sturgeon, probably sturgeon. But there's other Canadian species I'd like to catch. I would love to catch an Arctic grayling. That's probably huge on the bucket list for me. I'll have to unplug that.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. Sorry, gotta find a plug. There we go.
Oh, Sean Quinn's asking, where do I live? I live in Burlington, Sean.
Yeah, so I'm not sure. I don't know if you have shoreline like along Lake Ontario, but I know like in Toronto and all the northern or the northern shore, like where we are, Bowmanville, Newcastle. You can cast for pike right in Lake Ontario and catch them. I don't know if you have any opportunities for shore fishing like that. I don't know. Maybe somebody out that would be better off saying I've never fished your area before.
Yes, yeah, I know a couple of spots here in Burlington to go, but not for pike. Probably Hamilton would be like the closest place for pike for me.
Nice. And if you go to go to any northern lake, we usually have pike. I don't know if you're doing your fish off.
Yeah.
Your fish off. Are you doing some? Does the person you're doing it? Do they have a boat, Andrew?
So the guy I'm partnered with, he lives in Kitchener, and he doesn't drive, and I don't drive, so we're doing it both solo, but we're a team together.
Okay, so you don't have to be together when you're doing this.
Yeah, don't have to be a team to do it together, but you have to be a partner to be together.
Okay, I gotcha. Hamilton Bay, there you go. Pier 4 Bay.
So it's my first time doing it online. Yeah, and that's where I'm going.
Oh, is it? Nice. So what are you gonna be throwing, Andrew?
Hopefully. Yeah. So what are you gonna be throwing, Andrew? I'm going to be throwing 1 minute. I got it in my tackle box right here. Bought it just for walleye fishing only. But funny thing is, I caught a perch on it already.
Oh yeah.
Uh, yeah.
Perfect.
So live target yellow
Yeah.
perch.
Nice.
And I'm going to be throwing that out. So
Yep, that'll work.
hopefully it does the trick and gets.
Show me that. How deep are
Yeah.
you fishing? Like, show me that bill again.
So it, I believe it goes like 5 or 6 feet deep.
That looks like it's going to run pretty deep. Probably. You notice how I guess when you can't, you're not going to cast it like a mile long. Like it's not like you're like long, but that's a pretty
No.
deep diving jerk bait. It looks like, but you can tell by the size of the bill on it.
Yeah. Yeah. The bigger bill, the deeper it goes.
That's right. That's right. And swim baits, if you have any,
here we go.
you got little swim baits, or like 4 or 5 inch swim baits.
I do. I do have a whole bunch of swim baits.
You're
so
set.
That yellow perch goes, 6 to 8 feet deep.
Yeah. It looked. I don't know. Maybe it's the angle of the camera or whatever, but it looked like it had a huge bill on it. Looked like a pretty deeper.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, maybe. I've only caught a perch on it once, and I was shocked because I wouldn't think a perch would go after another perch, but they will. They're a predator fish, so.
Sure they are.
Yeah. So, gonna give that a try on Saturday, then gonna try to throw some soft plastic baits as well.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with swim baits, jerk baits, spinner baits.
That's one thing I need to get is more spinner baits.
Yeah, that would be my last choice. I'm not a big spinner bait fan. If you see me throwing a spinner bait, you know I'm having a terrible day at fishing. Yeah, I'm not a big fan. Yeah, I'd rather throw a jerk bait.
Yeah. I'm just mostly waiting for next month to open up for bass.
Oh, or we all are. And hopefully everything's going to be back to normal and we can do the club stuff because it's all in the air right now. Like all the clubs, they've been meeting like virtually online and stuff. And it's just not the same as being together with the boys, once a month and then going fishing with them. So I'm sure there's going to be we might have tournaments, but I think because of the social distance, groups of 4 or 5 or whatever it is, like our the way we've been doing it isn't going to work. We'll have to find another concept. But I'm sure we'll get out, hopefully. Fingers crossed. My toes are crossed too, but you can't see it.
Yeah.
So, what was your first fish, Andrew? Tell me about your first fish. What got you hooked on fishing? You there, bud?
So, I was invited to go up to Rice Lake for a day, help my buddy bring back his boat what he bought when he was up there, and just take it out for a spin for a day. We couldn't get the boat motor to turn over, so he just kept on working on it for the day and just told me to just fish off the dock. So
wonderful.
I was just fishing from the dock using a jerk bait while I got in a mystery tackle box for bass. And he told me there's a lot of bass up there. So I'm like, okay, I know what lures to try out, and been watching a whole bunch of videos on YouTube on bass fishing. Then I think it was on my 4th cast that I noticed when I went to go jerk it back a little bit more that I thought I got a snag, and next thing my line just went out.
Perfect.
And next thing I just told him, I think I have something on my line. And he's like, okay, just tighten loosen up your drag. You don't want it too tight. That's what pound test I was using. I was using 10-pound braided tests,
Hmm.
and just put up a good fight that carp did. And
Nice.
once I seen it, then got it netted.
A carp hit a jerk bait? Did you say a carp hit a jerk bait?
Yep.
Oh my. Really?
And yeah, I was shocked too. And my buddy told me, he's like, it's not the first time I've seen a carp hit a jerk bait.
I've heard about it, but I've never done it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so you
guess
had a
he was.
great fight for your first fight because those things are freight trains. It doesn't matter. Even a small one is a fight. It's good.
Yeah.
I like carp fishing actually. I haven't done it in years, but I really do like it.
So that got me hooked onto it, and from then I just got more involved with fishing and just fell in with the passion of it.
Attaboy. I think we all have a similar story or an opportunity arose and we took it, and then it was something that we just held on to because it is all kinds of awesome.
hmm
Yeah.
And some people have
Most of my
asked me,
friends now today, everything like the people that I hang out with, most of the people that I know I can call, they're pretty well all fishermen.
yeah,
Well, they are fishermen. There's not pretty well, they are.
yeah,
I
I'm
don't hang
slowly
around those
turning some of my friends
non-fishing
in.
types.
Yeah, I'm slowly turning some of my friends into fishing.
That's good. That's what it's all about.
hmm I just got the girlfriend involved in fishing 2 years ago, and she's just waiting to get her license for this year so she can come out fishing with me.
Be careful, but she'll kick your butt out there.
Oh, she's already had once.
You know what?
She did
Enjoy those
last year.
moments because she's real happy and she's going to keep fishing with you if she's catching them, right? So enjoy
hmm
those ones when she gets the big one.
Yeah. Right
Yeah.
now, she's just using live bait, and that's it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but just enjoying herself.
I like I said, I haven't used live bait for years and years and years. It's really not necessary anymore. It's messy. It's a pain in the butt. Yeah, I just don't do it. Like even my kids when they were growing up, they never. I think maybe when they were like 3 or 4, maybe they used live bait, like worms or something. But uh, definitely 5 and up, they were. It was all artificial lures for sure.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
just
just
easier.
yeah,
You don't have to bother about going to get bait or anything. It's right there in your box with your rod.
yeah.
And like I said, it's messy. You don't worms. Do you use worms?
I don't use a live bait anymore.
No, good for you.
I actually switched to using soft plastics and lures. And
Much easier.
yeah, well, I kind
Much
of
cleaner.
switched over that last year when I found out when I entered my first tournament in the CFO, the Ontario Fishing Club's fishing
Yeah,
charity, that no live
you
bait
didn't
was
know
allowed.
that.
So I'm like,
Wow.
I
Well,
didn't know
it
that.
makes sense. Somebody new that wouldn't probably wouldn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I started. It's a good thing I brought up soft plastic baits with me and all my other fishing lures.
And did you learn anything when you were up there?
But
Like learn
started
some
using
baits to
soft
get,
plastics.
baits that you don't really want or need. I think a lot of you go into a tackle shop, like especially for a new person,
Not really.
go to Bass Pro or something. And it's very overwhelming for them. I think most of the stuff on that shelf is to catch the fishermen, not the fish.
hmm Like with me, when I look for lures, I'm looking at something that I'm going to be using all the time.
Hmm.
I want to depend on that lure on catching fish for me. And when I'm looking for lures, I'm always researching on how to throw it and how to use it.
With YouTube now, buddy, I tell you, it's a whole different world. Like there was none of this when I was getting into bass fishing. There was like online like chat groups almost. There was some that were pretty popular, and that's where I met a lot of the guys that introduced me to bass fishing and stuff. So they were really big. I learned how to use a computer to go on a fishing site. That's the only reason I I went on a computer, and then I discovered eBay, and that was a mistake. Oh my god. Looks good on the picture. It's not.
Yeah. Yeah, I've gone through that before.
Yeah,
But last year was when I started switching over to using plastic baits and just started using them more and more. And now I got a whole shelf and bag full of plastic baits.
perfect. But I'm sure you're gonna get like me, and you're gonna have so many that they're just sitting in a shelf. They've been there for years. You know you're never gonna throw them. You know what? Give those to a kid. Next kid you see, if you know you're not gonna use it or whatever, and it'll make that kid's day. So
Yeah.
that's my suggestion. No sense in
I've
having it
already
sit and
started
collect
doing that.
dust.
Yeah. I've already been doing that is going through some of the stuff I don't use anymore or haven't used at all.
Good, sweet. And even the
So,
littlest thing to a kid it is huge to them. They'll never forget that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Steve comment. What would be your go-to if you had to use only one rod for most species? Rod type and length, reel size, line weight, and type leader line, and maybe favorite lure.
One rod it would be probably a 7 foot spinning reel, medium heavy, fast tip, and I would probably pair that with 2500 series or 3000 series reel. And 20-pound braid would be, if I could only use one, I would probably put 21 braid on it. Um, you can do all kinds of stuff. You can throw tubes with that. You can throw worms with that. You could throw a jerk bait with it. You could throw top water with it. If you only had one choice, 10's a little light, 30's a little heavy, so let's go 20. And maybe your favorite lure. I don't know if I have a favorite lure. I have one that people think's my favorite lure, and I kind of ran with it. But the worm, the dinger. Um, but I like the fluke. I like the spook. I like a horny toe style bait, and I kind of like in this creature thing too. I've
Okay.
thrown that more in the last year than I have ever. Like with a bait
Oh
caster
wow.
too.
Yeah. I just started using the bait caster not last year but the year before.
Yeah, I don't use them a lot. It's
So
not that I can't. It's just that I prefer spinning reels, and the type of fishing I do suits a spinning reel better, in my opinion.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's me is I got more spinning rods than I do have bait casters.
Oh,
I
I got 5 times as many.
Yeah, so when I go up to Rice Lake with my friends or go up north with my other buddies, one number one rod I'm always will be using is a spinner rod. Spinning.
Yeah.
I will probably only bring out my bait caster once in a while for the heavier baits to throw,
Yeah.
but that's about it. But this year I made myself a promise to use my bait caster a lot more.
You know what? I probably would still have more spin, like mostly spinning, if it wasn't for the Daiwa Tatula SV. That has changed my bait caster game for sure. You can't backlash that thing. You know, I always fish with guys. They were bait caster, bait caster, bait caster. Flipping docks and stuff like that. Bird's nest, bird's nest, bird's nest for them. They spend not half the time, but a lot of time picking out bird's nests, and I'm taking casts. So that was really okay. I'm just going to keep it a spinning reel here. And then um, the SB came out, and I got that in my hands. I started using that on the front yard, just practicing and stuff, and I could actually it worked for me. So I've definitely thrown it more in the last couple of years than I since I got with Daiwa and we started the SB. That's my baitcaster games is changing.
Okay.
Be
Then
afraid.
And Sean comment, of all your fishing trips, which one is your most memorable one?
My most memorable has got to be Texas. Texas was an unreal trip. A bunch of us went down, including Sean, Ian, Amber was down there. And we went down for the classic. It was in Houston, but on the way down there, we towed boats to Texas. Believe it or not, straight down, didn't stop, just 30 hours or whatever crazy time it was, all the way down there, and dropped the boats at Lake Fork on the way down. Then went stayed a night there, and then went to Houston for the 3 days, and then came back to Lake Fork for 5 days and did some pig hunting too. I was able to shoot a pig down there, so that was really cool. The fishing wasn't great, but it was something really different. And if you've never been to Texas, especially around Lake Fork area, fishing is everything. I don't think there's a house and a driveway that you don't look up that doesn't have some kind of boat that they could go fishing with. If it's homemade, whatever, they have something. They have trolling motor shops. They got, you know what? It is the mecca. Well, it's not the probably not the mecca of bass fishing, but it is serious, almost like a religion down there. And I really liked being in that kind of atmosphere because obviously fishing and hunting is something I like to do. And so I think that was probably the most memorable for sure. And the food, oh my God, the food. It was good. That's probably my most memorable one.
What's it like fishing on Lake Fork?
Lake Fork is a crazy, crazy lake because you could be in 60 feet of water. There's a stump, and there's another one because they never chopped any trees down and stuff. Where when they flooded it, it's all man made. Most of the lakes in the states are,
Mm.
and so they would just have the full tree, like were huge trees, but they're still there. So you're in like 50, 60 feet of water, and there's logs sticking like straight up, like still. It is crazy. You can't go there without bumping. I
Yeah,
went
I've
down there
heard
with
that.
like Joey Ford. I went out with a run with Joey Ford, and with Sean. But Sean was like he would kind of like do slalom around the logs. Not Joe. Joe just bounced right over them. Yeah. So
It reminds me of someone who I watch on YouTube who does that.
yeah,
Lake
you
Fork
can't
guy.
help it. You really can't help it. Yeah. And that, you know what, that trip, every single person I believe that went down with us had a problem with their trolling motor or some kind of thing with their boat. And with all the shops around there and stuff, they were fixed in no time.
Oh wow. Now Sean couldn't comment. So you guys have a routine that you do regularly period to fishing?
Do I have one? Yep. I go to Tim Hortons first thing in the morning and get two large steep teas, half sugar, one milk, and a breakfast sandwich. And then I drive to the lake, and then I drink all that tea, and then I spend the next probably 3 or 4 hours peeing. That's my ritual.
I don't have a ritual. Basically,
No?
no. I'll just basically because I do YouTube videos as well. So I'll get down to my spot, fish for a little bit, then set up all my camera equipment and tripod and film my intro, then just keep on fishing, then afterwards do my outro, then fish more and pack it up and head home, then get home and start editing and get it up on YouTube for the next Monday to be ready.
I know a guy that does that, dude.
Yeah, it's one of my routines I like to
Yeah, yeah.
do.
You know what? It's really hard to film when you're fishing. Well, I know it's really hard to do it when you're hunting. I took the GoPro a couple times, but I gave up on it because, yeah, it was just too hard. The movements and stuff just didn't work for me. So,
Yeah,
yeah, I'll take a picture of
I
it
get
after.
that sometimes in my videos. That's the one thing, well, editing I've learned is some shots don't turn out too good, so it's always better to take a couple of the same shots over and over and see how each one turns out afterwards.
Oh yeah, you do that. You take different
Yeah.
takes. Ian never
Yeah.
takes different takes. He just whatever you shoot is what you get, and then he makes that look good. So definitely talented there
Yeah.
to make us look good. Well, especially Sean. Really hard to make Sean look good.
Yeah, some guys are just naturally good at it, and
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. You're all
and
cracking up there,
usually
buddy. Oh, you're gone.
uh, I'm back now.
There you are.
Yeah, my internet's acting up a little. But yeah,
Yo, good. Yeah, I can't hear you. I don't know if anybody can hear me or not.
I can still hear
Yeah,
you.
okay. All right. Because you're all cracked up there, bud.
Yeah, but it has been an hour. Yeah, but it has been an hour of the show, and that's how long I
Yep,
usually keep
perfect.
it for. So thank you, Mark, for coming on. It was a pleasure to have you on the show, and thank you for answering some of the questions.
My pleasure, Andrew. And you know what? I really appreciate you asking me to come on the show, and just keep doing what you're doing, buddy. You're gonna get haters and stuff. That's usually jealousy or somebody else's problem. So take it with a grain of salt, but just keep at it. Do what makes you feel right. And I can't wait to watch your stuff, buddy.
Thank you.
Okay, cheers.
Cheers. Have a good
You
night.
too, man.
That was Mark Hunter, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. It was a pleasure to have you guys all tuned in. Make sure you guys tune in next Tuesday as I have a new special guest coming onto the show. So I'll see you guys all next week. And keep your eyes out on the Facebook page as there's going to be a couple of changes coming up really soon. So thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys all next week. Have a great week, and see you guys later.